Hey y'all, Aaron Kirkwood, marriage and family therapist, counseling associates for wellbeing in Athens, Georgia. Here, I wanted to talk a little bit. We've all seen the memes and the um, posts on Twitter and et cetera, all the social media. People talking about spending time in quarantine with their significant other and the revelations that they're having and how they can't go another day, et cetera, et cetera. Um, and so, I wanted to talk. That's those things are all funny and amusing to read, but a lot of people's reality is they are stuck at home right now with their significant other in a time of what for some people is a lot of stress. Whether it's you're strained economically because you're not working or you're working less, or you maybe you are working but you're worried. You don't know how long that'll last. If you have children, you're having to be a teacher now as well as a parent. Uh, maybe you're an extrovert that needs to get out and have social connection, and you don't have that in your life. There's a lot of reasons that your stress and anxiety maybe ratcheted up right now, and so you put that on top of being with another person 24/7. Um, Things can get a little strained, So I wanted to talk about something that you might try, that you might do, that could be helpful if you are able to kind of do it every day, maybe multiple times a day. But it's something, if you sustain over time, I think could be helpful for you. This is true for your partner, but also for your kids, roommates, anybody that you might be having to spend time at home with right now, and you're not able to get away. If you find yourself dwelling on or focusing in on the negative things that they do, their negative attributes as you see them. Um, if it's just little things that get on your nerve, or it may be things that you've had an ongoing conflict over or arguments about that have not resolved, and it seems to be really getting under your skin. What can you do? One thing that could be helpful if you're able to do this is to be a little bit purposeful, mindful about focusing in on the things about this person and about your relationship that you like and that you appreciate. And I think if you make a regular practice out of this, do it at least once a day. But if you do it multiple times a day, that's great. Um, it's going to help you. I'm going to grab something here, and you all are going to think I'm a little bit weird. That's all right, because you're right. Um, when I work with clients, I have a pair of these. They call it shutter shades, right? Um, and I use this to illustrate that certain things that we view through certain lenses, right? And they get right in. So if you're thinking about your partner or your roommate, your child, whoever's you're sharing space with right now, if you're thinking about them in that negative way, or that negative information really gets through, odds are, there's something positive that they do. There's something that you like about them, or in most cases you wouldn't be in this situation with them. But that the stuff that you like, the positive stuff, just it might kind of dink off of these plastic bits here. So the stuff you don't like really gets in there, drills into your head. The positive stuff maybe kind of dinks off, and so you don't notice it, even though it's there. Um, what I'm asking you to do is to adjust your I'm asking you to adjust your glasses a little bit, right? So that what happens is the positive stuff, the good stuff, the stuff that you like will filter in, will be more likely to get through. And so if you make a regular practice of thinking about and focusing in on and making yourself aware of the things that you appreciate and that you like about that other person, it's going to help you adjust those lenses. Um, the other way it could be helpful too. Now, if you do this, on your own in your own mind, or maybe write it down. By the way, if you write things down, uh, it's a little more impactful, because of how our brains work, and when we're doing the physical act of writing. So writing it down is a good idea. There's another way that it could be helpful. If you share this, if you make time to share this with the person in your life that you're having to be in such close proximity with right now, if you make a habit out of not only thinking about, noticing, being intentional about, um, focusing on those things, it will help to start to change your mindset. Um, but if you share that with the other person, it will become a positive association, right? So if you're sitting in your space and that person's not around and you know you're about to have to interact with them and you've had some less than pleasant interactions lately, or you're just focused on the stuff that you don't like, or what they do that's driving you crazy or whatever. Um, then as you look into talking with them and interacting with them, you're going to feel a certain way about that, and it's probably not negative. You're not going to be excited about it. You're not going to be It's not going to be an uplifting experience necessarily. But if you flip that switch and you have interactions around what you appreciate about each other, what you like about each other, suddenly you sort of develop a different association. So the idea about talking to that person or being around that person could change as well. So it seems like a really small thing, y'all. And yet it may be difficult to do when you're stressed out, when you're feeling under duress, when you're constantly with that person. But I feel pretty confident in recommending that if you're able to do this and you make a regular practice of it, meaning you do it every day or you do it twice a day, if you can do it twice a day, maybe in the morning and the evening or something. Um, yeah, I think it will affect how you see that other person. And then if you talk about it, if you all share that information, um, I strongly suspect that it could improve your relationship. So there's a little tip for you. Hope it's helpful. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those below. My contact information will be down below as well. If you're in the Athens, Georgia area and you're looking to do some couples or relationship counseling right now, and that, by the way, that doesn't mean that you're in dire straits. You may just want to improve things. Think of me as a mechanic, if you will. My hands are a little maybe cleaner than some mechanics, but other than that, maybe we're just doing a tune-up. So again, thanks for listening. Hope you're staying well.